We were never supposed to make it off Earth. To them, we were just another primitive species, flailing on a blue marble, screaming at each other over land and gods and invisible lines. They watched us from orbit for decades, centuries, maybe, cataloging our history, our violence, our biology. To the Ketheri, war was entertainment. And to them, humanity wasn't potential ally or threat. We were prey. They came not with diplomacy or declarations, but with guns designed to dissect. They didn't want to surrender. They wanted to thrill of the hunt. The first wave hit in silence. Cities blinked off the map. New York, Sao Paulo, Shanghai gone. Not vaporized. Taken. No wreckage, no screams, just silence and an absence. At first we thought it was a new weapon. Later we learned it was a collection. The Ketheri ships were cloaked in the sky, glass-like and silent, miles wide. They released drones like silver locusts, not to kill, but to flush. They herded us into open ground, into forests, ruins, deserts. We were forced to run, forced to make it fun. It wasn't a war. It was a safari. The Ketheri were tall, six-limbed beasts of muscle and bone armor, draped in tech that pulsed like bioluminescent skin. Their eyes, black pits ringed in violet, showed no joy, no hatred, just calculation. They tagged us like animals. Some they tracked for weeks, testing our endurance. Others they slaughtered quickly. If you fought back, they respected it. They recorded it. I remember the first time I saw one. It tore through a convoy near Old Denver, leaping through fire like it didn't feel heat. The .50 cal tore chunks from its armor, but it kept moving. When it reached Sergeant Kane, it didn't kill him immediately. It watched him try to reload, watched him curse and bleed and shake. Then it reached down gently and snapped his neck like a twig. It turned to me next. I ran. The resistance was scattered. No central command. No Earth left to command from. We became tribes of survivors, holed up in old missile silos, derelict spaceports, caves. Every now and then we caught one of them, took it down. And every time we did, we learned that was their mistake. Ketheri believed intelligence was static, that a species was either advanced or not. That prey never learned fast enough to matter. But we weren't rabbits. We were wolves, cornered and furious. By the 5th year, we started striking back. At first it was sabotage, mines, poison atmospheres, traps. Then we took one of their ships. A small skimmer, barely space-worthy. It didn't matter. It was a key. What we learned from its systems changed everything. They weren't just hunting Earth. They were part of a league. A coalition of apex species that culled sentience before they grew teeth. 1,000 planets burned before they reached the stars. A galactic cartel of predators keeping the food chain neat. They didn't realize we don't stay in cages. We reverse-engineered the skimmer. Built crude FTL drives from stolen tech. Jumps were unstable. Fatal, even. We lost more than we kept. But those who made it, they brought back maps. Coordinates. Weak points. We called them the Star Hunters. I joined the 6th expedition. We jumped to a Ketheri breeding world. Lush, cold, perfect for ambush. We weren't there to observe. We were there to butcher. We took their young. Not for torture. For study. We found out what hurt them most. What they feared. It wasn't painful. It wasn't death. It was a loss. They thought we didn't understand strategy. But we studied every recorded hunt. Every route. Every behavior. We mimicked their tactics. Then we improved them. We didn't just shoot to kill. We baited. We bled. We left bodies as messages. They wanted to see if we were worthy prey. We made sure they were. By year 10, we had fleets. Not elegant, not beautiful, but brutal, fast, armed with weapons that hacked their cloaking fields, fried their nervous systems, ignited their oxygen-rich blood. We didn't just push them back. We chased them. System by system, world by world, we followed the blood trail. What they did to Earth, We did to their colonies. Only we didn't collect. We were exterminated. One by one, the other hunting species noticed. First, they sent envoys, then threats, then assassins. We sent them heads. It wasn't revenge anymore. It was a war. The kind of war no species had dared wage in millennia, not for resources, not for conquest, but to send a message. You never hunt something that could become a hunter. The Kethri homeworld was a fortress, moons ringed with orbital spears, a planetary shield layered in frequencies we hadn't even discovered yet. They thought it would hold. They didn't know what we'd become. We cracked their defenses with neutron lances, dropped soldiers in tungsten pods that burrowed through crust and flame. We unleashed viruses coded to their DNA, broadcast on psychic bands. The skies over their world turned red with fire and ash. And then we landed. Not drones, not bombs. Us. Human boots. Human guns. Human rage. We didn't ask for surrender. We didn't accept it. In the capital, what they called Viecor, where they'd once displayed our captured leaders like trophies, we built a monument of skulls. Not just Kethri. Every species that had joined in the hunt. Burned. Broken. Buried. People ask, sometimes, how we live with what we did, with what we became. The truth is, we never changed. We always had the monster in us. We just never needed it before. Now, the stars are quiet. The predators are gone, or hiding. And everywhere we go, every system, every planet, we leave a mark, a warning. They hunted us for sport. We hunted the stars. And we won. But the most terrifying part isn't that we survived. It's that now, there's nothing left to hunt, except what comes next.